Hello and welcome back to This Week in New York City Transit. I know I didn't upload one of these videos last week, however that was due to the lack of news we had. Letting things sit for an extra week allowed us to have tons of things to talk about in this video, so without further ado, let's get straight into it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you would like to see more of these videos each week. Starting with some very good news, we have the announcement of the R32 Farewell trip, or trips I should say. On the 10th of December, the New York Transit Museum posted the information on their website. There will be multiple farewell runs for the old Brightliners. Each Sunday starting on December 19th and ending on January 2nd, the trains will run via the F line between 2nd Avenue and 145th Street on the D line, making all express stops every 2 hours between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. The absolute final farewell runs will be on Sunday, January 9th, where the trains will run part of the old QB service between Brighton Beach and the new 96th Street 2nd Avenue station, making all express stops on the Broadway and Brighton lines. The first train will depart the Brighton Beach station at 10 a.m. and the last will depart 96th Street at 6:30 p.m. These trips will celebrate the car's 58 years of in-service lifespan. Please note that the route and schedule is subject to change at the discretion of the train crew. Update: the last farewell run was cancelled due to a multitude of reasons, including foamers changing roll signs, stealing subway maps, and people attempting to climb the train in between the cars. Interesting. Now onto some real news in the transit system. We have a station improvement. The 57th Street station on the F line will be getting 2 elevators built by luxury developer Sedesco. The elevators will be built in exchange for over an acre of extra floor space for the Turkish real estate firm's planned super tall tower. This is the first private company to capitalize on a new city zoning law known as Zoning for Accessibility, which aims to incentivize builders to make transit stations more accessible in exchange for up to 20% more square footage. MTA Chair and CEO Jano Lieber said in a statement, "This agreement is proof that the MTA's historic capital plan, along with partnering with private developers, will allow the authority to modernize the entire transit system as quickly and efficiently as possible." The developer is said to be footing the entire bill for installing the elevators, along with providing additional funds to the MTA to cover the cost of their maintenance and replacement after an 18-year lifespan. While it has been said that the construction on their super tall tower is planned to end in 2026, the developers declined to say when the elevators will be in service. Now, it seems like this happens each week, but on to the bad news. The MTA has reported a massive spike in subway delays due to people on the tracks. There was nearly a 50% increase in delays in November than the previous month. This comes after 2 major incidents. One where a person refused to get off of the tracks at the 125th Street station on the Lexington Avenue line, delaying 18 trains over the course of half an hour, and another where a person was pushed down the platform by an R train at the 8th Street station. Now there's actually a video to go along with this, but to avoid YouTube and the FBI busting my door down for showing all of you it, I am not going to do so. In response to this recent surge, the MTA's acting CEO has created a brand new quote-unquote trespasser task force to find solutions to prevent people from jumping onto the tracks. Now, we know that this can all be avoided by implementing platform screen doors, and I see that brought up a lot, but in a city like New York, which has many different types of subway cars running on the same lines, it just wouldn't work as expected, as some cars, for example the R62 and R142, have different door positions. It could be implemented along lines like the 7 or the L, which uses subway cars that all have the same lengths and door positions. However, I'd presume that the cost of the project is the main thing that is causing the MTA to hold off on the project for, along with the reliability of them and the interchangeability in case a train from another line needs to be routed along one that uses those doors. Let's hope that in the near future, the MTA can come up with a solution to this issue and we can see the number of delays caused by people on the roadbed decrease. Ending off with the news about the subway, the MTA announced earlier this week that they will be extending their signal modernization works along the whole of the Queens Boulevard line up to Jamaica 179th Street on the F line. The president of MTA Construction and Development said, "A modern signal system is critical to the delivery of the 21st century transit system that our riders deserve." The signal modernization program is being vastly accelerated throughout the subway system, and the addition of a quality new equipment vendor to diversify our vendor pool will drive competition and ensure faster and cheaper delivery. The first of the 3 contracts for this CBTC extension has already been awarded and is valued at $62 million. We know that CBTC will greatly help service frequency and hopefully lower delays caused by signal malfunctions, although some of us may know that hasn't been the case on a certain CBTC activated line. Now, moving on to a network that we don't usually talk about much here on the channel, the Metro-North Railroad. Earlier last week, Governor Hochul announced that the MTA approved a design-build contract for the Penn Station Access Project, commonly referred to as PSA. This project will provide direct Metro-North service from the Bronx and places within Westchester and Connecticut to Penn Station via the New Haven line. This is a great project that will allow some passengers to have shorter commute times into Manhattan and easier access to its west side. It could also relieve some congestion off the 6th line in the Bronx, with riders commuting from the Parkchester and Hunts Point areas possibly choosing this over the subway. I know that I will definitely be trying this new route out when it finally does open, although I see a couple of major issues with this. In the MTA's press release, they mentioned trains running at a frequency of every 20 minutes during peak period, and if that is the peak time service frequency, it really makes me worry about the off-peak frequency. With such a low frequency of trains, and with the Metro-North's rolling stock not really being built to handle the big crowds with a whole bunch of standing passengers, I can't really see this new extension of the New Haven line working out too well, as either one of the 3 things would happen. 1. The line becomes too crowded because frequency is low and not everyone can board the first train. 2. The line wouldn't be very popular because it runs at such a low frequency during rush hours. And 3. It would cost too much and riders would favor the subway. See, it's just a lose-lose situation. Anyways though, we're definitely gonna have to see how this plays out and how all of this works when the line finally opens. However, I am definitely happy that it's finally moving along, and I look forward to finally being able to use the Metro-North on a regular commute, as I actually live near the Northeast Corridor line and near one of the new stations. Thanks to the efforts of Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Amtrak will be contributing $500 million toward the project, and they have also agreed to pay the cost of delay if they fail to meet commitments to provide outages or workforce. The project is estimated to cost $2.87 billion. Now this is a bargain, not SAS. Continuing though, it is expected to be completed within 63 months and will create over 10,000 jobs. Funnily enough, most of the cost of this project isn't even coming from the stations, but the new tracks, signals, interlockings, and more. The MTA acting chair and CEO said, "This is great news for the Bronx and the region as a whole." With 4 new ADA accessible stations in Co-op City, Morris Park, Parkchester, and Hunts Point, Penn Station Access will deliver access to jobs, education, and opportunity for those underserved neighborhoods, cutting commutes to the Manhattan CBD, but also introducing reverse commuting opportunities. Early last week, the MTA announced that the Jamaica Bus Depot in Queens will be redeveloped to fully support a zero-emissions fleet of up to 60 electric buses. This falls in line with the MTA's goal to have a fully zero-emissions bus fleet by 2040, especially as they've been gearing up to purchase up to 500 new electric buses as part of the 2020 through 2024 capital plan. In a press conference, the NYCT interim president had this to say. The MTA is committed to operating an environmentally sustainable bus network that will help protect our city from the harmful effects of fossil fuels while harnessing the latest technologies for cleaner and more energy efficient buses. This milestone at the Jamaica Bus Depot is just one small but significant step in the fight to reduce greenhouse gas emissions for the communities we serve. A construction contract for the project is expected to be awarded by the end of 2022, with the opening of the depot expected in 2026. What do you think about all of this, everyone? Tell me your thoughts in the comments section below. Also, feel free to drop a like and subscribe. Have a nice day, everyone. Peace.